Good day, everybody. This is a Florida Golden Girl. Today's travel adventure takes us to the town of Winter Haven. We're in a little reflection park. There's no specific name, but I wanted to stop and have a moment of reflection and let's have a little bit of a chat. This is the first in a series of 3 videos that I'm going to be doing where I'll be visiting a couple of different local parks, and we're going to be having a chat as I show you the beauty of different areas. Video 2 and video 3 will be up in Winter Park. I found some really cool parks I think you might enjoy. Show you a little bit more about where the rich folk live. Some really cute houses. The second vlog, we're going to be talking about friendship and trust. And the third video is going to be, what does retirement look like? I think you're going to be finding that that's going to be an interesting one that you might want to stop by and visit with me. So today, it's June. It's a late afternoon. I'm with my sidekick. He's off in the distance, hovering by. And there was a subject that was brought up recently. So I go on this YouTube channel, and the name is Old Curiosity Shop, and he's based up in Jersey, Philly area. And so he finds really cool things. He's into anything vintage. I'm talking about, he bought a 1925 bungalow and is totally decorating it in that style. It's not a museum, what he says is, but that's the time period he really digs. So I bought a few antiques from him to fill my historic townhome in. But there was one thing that somebody touched upon that I thought I would talk to you about. I think it's something that we need to really visit. And that is the things you have accumulated during your lifetime. What do you do with them? One thing I found is that when you retire and you're downsizing, you don't need all those dress clothes anymore, those suits, those extra shoes, all of that lunch gear or what have you. And so you give it away. Some of it you give to friends, you give to relatives, Salvation Army, thrift stores, anywhere that it's going to accept a donation, and you get a tax receipt for your next year's taxes for those that itemize. Well, what about those family items that you've had for years that you collected from your grandmother, great-grandmother, and you've got kids or you have grandkids and they don't want them? That's the subject we're going to talk about. For example, there's a lady, well, let's talk about this guy. This guy's got items. He's got an older brother, and the older brother has kids, and they don't want none of that stuff. And this guy's somebody that's passionate about preserving his family history. He's got stuff going back to the great-grandmother, etc., etc. But he's not married, doesn't have kids, and he doesn't know what will happen. Now, in the back of his mind, it's something that he is concerned about. Now, his mother's still alive, and so anything that, so all of like the china, the really nice stuff, things like that, you know, that a lady would have, he will take. But what happens when he passes? What happens when you pass? You have family heirlooms and your kids don't want them. What do you do with them? That's something that you need to really sit down and have a good, long talk with your spouse, partner, friend, relatives about, kids about. Because if they don't want them, then it's time for you to take a serious look at getting rid of those things now. Why are you holding on to things that you never use? Why are you holding on to jewelry that you never wear? Sell it. Take the money and pay a bill, buy food, take a trip, do something with it. It makes no sense in holding on to things if your kids don't want it. Do something about it now. Unless you're going to be one of those that would prefer to just let the kids do with it, that's fine too. But it's something that I think everybody that's a retiree that needs to start looking at. In my case, I realized that when we moved from Washington, D.C. to Texas, I had 30 boxes of books. And these are books that I've had and treasured, and I thought, this is absolutely ridiculous. What the heck am I going to do with all these books? And then that was just the idea that I had that motivated me to start downsizing. So I got rid of all of the books. I'm down to one small 2-shelf bookcase. It's super small. That's got my first editions and the books that I cherish the most. Then my next thing is DVDs. Well, you know what? Everything you can upload to an iPad or an iPhone or what have you. We have very few DVDs. And all of the ones we had literally 3,000. And so what we did, there was a local store that sold DVDs. And so, we hardly got anything for them, but we got rid of them. And then you got clothes. Well, when I moved from DC to Texas, sure, you're going to still need winter coats, but not to the level that you needed there. And then when we moved here to Florida, we got even rid of more coats. I still hold on to a couple of them, not necessarily for sentimental reasons, but you just never know. So it's important for you to realize, once you retire, are you going to stay where you're at? Or are you going to seriously look at that big old house with all the kids that filled every room that are no longer there? And you got all that big house, and it's just you and your husband, or you and your partner, and you're like, why do we have all this space when we don't need it anymore? That's when you look at everything and use some critical thinking and start downsizing. There's always different ways to approach how you start looking at downsizing. The first thing is if you're going to move, if you know you're going to move somewhere where it's a condo, a retirement home, an apartment, or a trailer, or you're going to travel. Your next move is what's going to give you that hint on what do you take and what do you keep. What do you keep? What do you get rid of? Then from there, you look at, okay, if the family don't want it, and you tell them right then and there, once it's gone, that's it. I don't want to hear, oh, why did you get rid of great-grandma's china when you knew I wanted it? No. They need to know up front that if they don't want it then and there, then it's gone. And so the thing is that you know that nobody in the family wants it. There's places where you could consign things if you want to go that route. You could put them up on Etsy. You can do them on Facebook Marketplace. You can go on eBay, which is, more time consuming. You can go to antique places that might do commissions, or go to churches, find out if there's places that could use some of that old furniture, or just simply pack it up and go. Do I need 55 plates of this and 55 cups of this? And no. It's serious planning. If you had 5 or 6 kids and that's it. Now, I mentioned me and my sidekick never had kids, and we accumulated a lot of stuff because when you're young, you don't ever think about it. We started out with literally nothing. And from there, over the years, we started out with buying our immediate items that we needed from a thrift store. And then from there, when we could afford it, because we were both military, then, we bought little as time went by. But then the years go and you got all this stuff. You got more stuff that you don't necessarily need. All right? And then from there, then you look at, okay, wow. So I had some family heirlooms that when I went to visit my family, I gave it to my brother. My brother looked at me and said, well, he's the only one in my immediate family that has kids and grandkids. And he's like, well, they're not going to want this. And the younger kids don't collect that stuff. That's absolutely true. So I gave it to him anyway, and I said, here you go. I said, maybe one day they might want it. But in the meantime, here you go. Then I didn't have that over my head. And then with the rest of the stuff, I either gave it to anybody that wanted it or donated it. And that's where we're at. I'm at the point now where everything is, I don't have a lot of stuff. I could probably continue to downsize, which is what I will probably continue to do. For example, I looked at my closet and noticed, oh, do I really need these dress pants I haven't worn in years? No. So I had bundled 13 dress pants and took it down to a place called Matthew's Hope here in Central Florida in Winter Garden. Matthew's Hope is a really cool place where they do a lot of outreach and local community stuff. They help the homeless, those that are in need. Great organization. And they have like a little thrift store off of South Dillard. So I know some of the stuff that I gave them, I know that they can use. So it was size 16, all dry cleaned. All they need to do is just put it on a hanger and they'll make money. And yeah. So I've went through my Sidekick stuff and gotten really downsized to the point where his is fine now. And I always go back and relook at stuff that I'm not going to wear that color anymore, or this or that. There's still like, nice black pants, dark blue, a few colors, just in case I ever need it. Then I've got it. Dresses, I'm fine. But, the retired life, I live in athleisure wear. That's what I wear. Jeans, it's for when we go out. So that's something that I really felt passionate about, that I wanted to bring to your attention, is downsizing. All of you are smart enough to know what you need to do, because folks, you can't take it with you wherever you go. And this summer's going to be an interesting one. I've got some really exciting things planned. Me and my sidekick, we're going to look at local attractions. I'm not talking Disney, because there's so many vlogs out there about Disney. How much more vlogging can one do on Disney? You've got vloggers like Days with Jordan the Lion. You've got Adam the Woo, The World of Micah, Carpetbagger. These are people I followed years ago. Great people, but that's what they do. And they kill it sometimes with overdoing it on Disney videos. They're a little bit younger. They're in the 40s, 50s, and I'm in my 60s. And so my audience is retirees, and I want to take it from that perspective. I feel that me and my sidekick are living in the retiree capital of the world. And yeah, so there's things that are out there that I think may be interesting that we could check out. And we're looking forward to those local adventures. These are things we've not done. Again, in between the numerous doctor's appointments we've got going on, a couple hours here or there, take a little bit of time out and enjoy life while we can. You know, it's gonna probably be hot and, you know, enjoying pool time and things like that, and, you know, when there's not a million kids around. But yeah, you know, it's interesting how retirement, what you thought it was going to look like, you've got this picture in your mind, and it's not there. It's a total different vision, and when that vision changes, you've got to go with the flow. No one ever said that it was going to be easy to retire, and it ain't, because you've got every day that's the same as the day before. So what you do is you make each day count. That's another vlog I was going to do. And I think take the time to really listen to the words of wisdom that I've got. It's food for thought. It gives you an idea or what have you. But no one's going to put it out there unless it's somebody else. You know? Is your friends going to put it out there? Maybe. Everybody is different, and everyone's situation is unique. But I wanted to bring it to your attention about downsizing, and that you need to really start looking at it after you retire, because you don't need all of that stuff anymore. It's time to let go. And if the kids don't want it, and if the family don't want it, then they were given a chance. You know what I mean? I think you all understand. And my sidekick's family, you know, the family, they still have the items from the mother and the dad that passed away years ago. And why are they holding on to it? I don't know. That's them. I can't worry about that. I got my own family, my own sidekick I got to worry about. And it's going to be an interesting summer, folks. Make each day count. Go out there and do something. Don't sit at home and watch soap operas. Turn off the news. Quit reading the newspapers. They're depressing enough. Enjoy the fresh air. We certainly deserved it. This is supposed to be our time. I understand that there's still people that are retirement age that have to work. I get it. I get it. Because Social Security and pensions don't pay the bills. Because at one time it did, but now because they decided, the greedy government decides to really raise everything, how the hell are we supposed to survive? I get it, folks. I get it. And I'm not knocking anybody that's still working. Everybody's situation is unique. But all I'm saying is take a little bit of time for you. Whether it's soaking in a hot tub, sitting outside for a few minutes and just looking at the fresh air, going down the street for a newspaper, or looking at things like that. Spend time with your loved ones, folks. Because one day, they're not going to be there. And you want to enjoy and make each minute count. Okay? So, I'm going to end this video for now. Me and the sidekick are going to take a little bit of a walk. And, yeah. Like, subscribe, click on that notification bell to let you know when a new video will be uploaded. Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, tell the dog, tell the cat, tell a stranger, tell the kid next door. Word of mouth is how this viewership grows. And for those that just stop in and, you know, are lurking or what have you, that's cool. I appreciate each and every one of you that take the time and spend a little bit of viewer time here. So, me and the sidekick are gone. We want to thank you for watching. And so long for now.